Whoa. Sup. Welcome to the Sports Yammer. I am a Sports Yammer. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Kyle. Kyle, how are we doing today?
We're good. We're good. How are you, Matt?
We're here. We're good. We're suffering through game 3. Emphasis on suffering. Ryan, how we doing? You're also here. Are you walking a dog? Are you walking 2 dogs?
I was taking her out to use the bathroom.
Attaboy. Good dogs. Good dogs. Those are good dogs. Go and poop and stuff. Well, right now the Knicks are on. It's 10 minutes left in the second quarter. The Spurs currently have a 10-point lead. I am in distress, but I'm going to distract myself by talking to my friends. Gentlemen, the Stanley Cup, it's currently 2-1 Vegas. We have 3 dynamite games. The Knicks are up 2-0. The president is here, and it's the first NBA Finals game in New York in 27 years. Roland Garros is going on. The U.S. Open is later this week. So naturally, the first place we're going to start, also it's baseball season. I don't know if you know that. It's baseball
And the World
season.
Cup.
And the World Cup starts on Thursday because Kyle had to remind me that is a true story. Naturally, we're going to start with Sorry, cat's on the ground for some reason. Naturally, though, we're going to start with college football because this morning just the most dumb ruling came down from a Lubbock district court in Texas. And that ruling was that Brendan Sorsby has filed an injunction against the NCAA, and it has been successful, and he will now be playing in the 2026 college football season for the Texas Tech Football Red Raiders. Now, look, he got caught for doing the most basic scratchy lotto stuff. Like, he didn't get caught for something in the gray area. He didn't, well, I saw him get his hand caught in the cookie jar, but you didn't, so now we don't actually know. Like this was a cut and dry situation. This is one of the ones where the second the news came out, we're supposed to move on. Like, we're done. We can point and laugh at that guy, be like, ha, he, hoo, he probably should have fucking, maybe not done that. But nope. Instead of him becoming a meme, he's going to be starting. He's going to be suspended for the 2 games. Their first game, by the way, is against Abilene Christian, so it's not like he's missing a dire game. Guys, I don't know how you feel about this. I feel very strongly. I do not think this is something that should be overlooked. I do not think this is something that should be ho-hum, because I think this is very, 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 very bad for college sports, and I think it sets up a very dangerous precedent down the line, and I think it is very, very bad for college football overall, and also just sports in general, because you essentially now have something in legal writing that basically just told every single athlete, especially quarterbacks and the stars of your local high school team. It basically taught them that if they are good enough, they do not have to deal with anything. They don't have to deal with any consequence of their action. They don't have to actually atone for anything. They don't actually have to, go through stuff. No, they can just play. They can blatantly spurn the rules. The one big rule, by the way. It's not like a litany of rules. It's one. And he can't do that, and he gets to come back and play. This sets a dangerous precedent. I think it sends a very bad and dangerous message to young male athletes everywhere, because those dudes, they're already coddled, and if they're good enough, they are already in a community where they can do no wrong. Now you add a legal thing like this, I think it inflates their head to a dangerous way. I do not like this. I think this is very bad for college football. Following up with that, Brett Yormark has reported that within the next 24 to 48 hours, the NCAA will be appealing the injunction as they should. And also, he is currently trying to tame down a shitstorm because the Big 12 is pissed the fuck off at Texas Tech. Kansas State does not play them in college football this year, but the AD has already come out and said that they will not play them if scheduled. And I quite frankly think this is, while a nuclear option, I do think it should be the option that every single school should take. I do not think a school should set on the field against Texas Tech because of this kid. I don't. This kid spurned the rules. He broke the rules. This is literally when Pete Rose got caught, they said, just don't do it again. Go back to the dugout. Like, it is literally the exact same thing. There is no reason why Sorsby should be playing. There is no reason why Texas Tech should have been helping them that much. I know they want to win, but they also have millions of dollars. They have the largest NIL, arguably, in college football. They can go get another damn quarterback. My overall point is this was a terrible, terrible, terrible day for college football. I think it makes Texas Tech villains for the year, which that'll be fine. That'll be fun. That'll be something fun to root for. But man, this is not good. This is bad. This is awful. This is really bad. Really, really bad. And I hope that I can't believe what I'm about to say. I hope the NCAA wins the appeal. Which, what a gross sentence. I don't want to be on their side. Anyway, I've ranted and raved. I have very strong opinions in case you can't tell. Kyle, I want to start with you because this is so problematic. Like, this is such a damn problem.
It's really funny looking, recently, what was it, the 15-year anniversary of Cam Newton playing for Auburn, and thinking back then of like, oh, he was spurned from Florida because he may or may have not taken a school computer. And to see where we are now with this stuff where it's, you gambled on a bunch of games and you were saying it was to feel closer to Indiana, right? You can't trust this person. And I understand he's done a little bit of the work from what I understand in the offseason to try to tap this down, but you basically gave him carte blanche on this, right? It doesn't matter what his past transgressions were. And all the SEC teams and Big 12 teams that will be facing them have every right to say that they don't want to play him because they don't know what they're actually going to get from Sorsby, right? There is the integrity of the game that you're talking about right there, which is, if Brandon Sorsby can do it, basically any one of these people can do it. And I don't think this is something that is a detriment to NIL. I think there is still a lot of things positive of NIL that we've talked about that just needs a little bit of cleaning up. But also, this is kind of what we're seeing in the world nowadays, right? Where you do some things and the courts don't care what you do, and a lot of people get away with it. So it's unfortunate that it's coming to sports. Like you said, Texas Tech, they didn't necessarily need him. Like, they already have a really good team as it is. Even without Brendan Sorsby, I believe they picked up a couple of quarterbacks that would have been, maybe not as good as Sorsby, but good enough to be able to get you to the playoffs again. Brandon Morehead wasn't like the best quarterback, as we saw. He was a 7th-round pick for the Patriots this year. It's not saying that he is someone who is leading that team. That team was defense oriented, and that's what they're going to be known for. So you basically got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, and unfortunately, you're not getting any repercussions for it. And I hope this appeal does happen, and that Sorsby gets some sort of punishment. I don't know if it's going to be a full year, but there has to be some sort of bigger thing than, oh, you missed the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, and I also want to touch on something that you mentioned before I toss it to the other guests. Also, what's up, Jay? I hope you're doing well. I'm going to respond to that fool in just a second after this show. Anyway, on the rehab thing, I no longer believe anything. Like, I don't. Like, I understand that he supposedly went to rehab and he did the work, but if then your first action afterwards, not even 6 months, is to file an injunction so you can play right away because you're like, oh, I'm cured. I want to play. That shows me that you don't actually feel remorse. You just want this to go away so that you can play, which is just an attitude in this country, not even just in sports, an attitude in this country that can just die in a fire, man. It's absolutely useless. Absolutely useless. Ryan, I know I came in on fire. I'm sorry. I'm going to toss it to you now awkwardly.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, that's all you guys' points. Like, I think this ruling is going to go down if it stays the way it is as a pivotal moment in college football history, where a lot of things are going to get changed, a lot of precedents are going to get set. And then when another situation like this it's bound to happen because of just having football so in bed with gambling. You know, we're going to see more of this happen, and we're going to see more situations like this going forward. And how this ruling is going to be ultimately adjudicated is going to just kind of set the precedent for the next, I don't know, 25, 30 years of college football, because gambling in sports is only getting bigger. It's only getting more legal in states. There are more revenues coming in for each state because it's such a revenue boost to the bottom line of their gross GDP for their state. So it's only going to become more and more of a problem. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out, because we're at a changing of the kind of guard moment in college football about if you bet on games, you can kind of get away with it scot-free without having to pay any sort of restitution or penalty for gambling on said sports while you're on a professional or a college football team.
Yeah, we used to have those. And like also the NCAA, like with this rule that Sorsby can't do, like can't gamble, like Ryan, Kyle, like this isn't, and Jay, like this isn't one of their like fugazi ones. Like one of their like, you know, poopa-doopy, like kind of like, really? That's a rule one? Like, no, that's one of those ones where they wrote it and we were all like, yeah, that makes sense. Sounds about right. Jay, Brandon Sorsby, like we like UFC. Brandon Sorsby has Texas Tech Dana White privilege. Like, goddamn, man. Like he full blown broke the golden rule.
Yeah.
And is starting.
My thing is, now you have a slippery slope of where do you stop? And this is the hard part with just where college sports are, because when you don't really put like a barrier up for anything, then just like you're gonna see everybody say, well, he did it, so it's fine. It started off with eligibility, which I had my thoughts and feelings about. But at the same time, like, why are we allowing people to gamble, especially like bet on themselves, and then come out, admit it, and then all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, it's fine, we'll let it happen. Like, what happened to the integrity of the game? We just watched the NBA, and I have my problems with Adam Silver, but he did the right thing where he sat down and said, we're not going to allow this to happen in our league. We're not going to let people put bets down on our actual on our product and then believe that fans are going to want to watch that, because college football is a much bigger plane than the NBA is. But I think the sentiment is still there, because now I'm sitting here watching my favorite teams or even players, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. When you start to fake the idea of sports, that's when you start to get people to tune out, because then it feels like it's not genuine. That's the best part about sports. Matt, I don't know if you had this professor, but we took a sports, I want to say it was a sports feature class, whatever it was. I had mine with Professor Bousman. He said one of the best, he asked us a question. He was like, what is the difference between actual news media, actual news journalism, and sports journalism? And the response is that we all can see what happens. We can all watch the actual thing that's happening in front of us. We all are going to have a take. We're all going to have a reaction. They might be correct. They might be incorrect. They might be biased. They might be emotional. But when you start to fake that, or even the slight idea of that it's not the real thing that you're getting, you then throw everything out of proportion. I just don't like the idea. I don't like where college sports is headed at the moment. I think that you have a really good model for it. I think that you have really good ideas for it. But this just, coaches and ADs alike should be sick to their stomachs that this is allowed. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like man, like he bet $90,000. $90,000.
Charities exist.
Not
nonprofit.
like that's a kid who's got that type of disposable income. I bet it's not just from his NIL, because that's a kid that is at worst upper middle class. That is a kid that is at worst upper middle class.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's just, and like
I will say though, sorry, Matt, was just
no, you're
I
good.
don't really feel bad for college football, to be honest, because they took the money from these
Yeah.
gambling sites.
Yes.
So this is the problem
yeah.
they've created themselves. Like,
Oh yeah.
we knew this was going to happen. At least once in our lifetime, we knew this was going to happen. Now they kind of have to see this is their consequences of taking all this money. So I'm very curious to see how this all plays out.
I am
And
curious.
Ryan, I was going to say, to piggyback real quick off of Ryan, I said this in our group chat. It's like, yes, like it's definitely okay to be mad at Sorsby here. Like, he did wrong and he's not getting punished. But again, it goes back to, we are seeing over the last couple of years that punishment doesn't seem to even matter anymore. Like, pushing back on people is not giving the correct punishment for their crimes, right? And I think we're starting to lose that too, of like, there's this like Wild West aspect to a lot of America right now that needs to be changed, because like you said, this if like something like this can just prosper in college football and also prosper all across the country, like, where's the end to that? When does it finally hit a punishment, right? And is it going to be the people who actually do deserve to get punished, or is it going to be the people who are left holding the bag?
Yeah, exactly. And just like Texas Tech is going to get booed a lot, and like I really do think that teams they got to consider just being like, no, we're not playing the Red Raiders. I think teams need to explore the nuclear option against them. Like, just I don't think they should be playing. Like, I don't, or at least I don't think he should be playing. Or if like all of those wins, or any of those wins that they get that he plays, they got to get those fun little stars next to it, those fun little asterisks. Because no, man, like he shouldn't be playing. Like he should not be playing. Like he should not. Full stop.
I agree with that, Matt, but also like the asterisk is just for show, right? Like we know that Memphis was in the championship game against Kansas in 2007, 2008. We know that Louisville won the championship. You know, it doesn't change the fact of what we saw, right? So there has to be a stricter punishment to this than just, oh, let's put a little bit of dots here and say that, oh, this didn't really count.
You're right. I just like, because also like if I'm an NBA, God, sorry, I can tell I'm watching the finals. Like if like I also do view it like this, like Sorsby was good last year at Cincinnati, but if that doesn't follow him to Texas Tech and improve, he's not going to be a top 3 quarterback. A top 3 round quarterback. So if I'm an NFL scout / owner, I look at his stats and his mechanics. I go, that's nice, but I seriously have questions about your decision making, because like it's not just, oh, he flaunted the rules. It's not just like, I'm not just sitting here being like old man with the rule book being like, according to page 4. Like, there's also just basic poor decision making. This guy especially spent $90,000 on scratchy lottos, dude. That's the equivalent of your neighbor doing the same thing at your bodega. Do you think your bodega neighbor is a genius or a money manager? No, you think he's wasting his money and he's making dumb decisions. And like, that's what I see with this kid. I see a kid who's making really dumb decisions. He went to, and like the thing, and like I'm so stuck on him, and like shame on me maybe, I guess. But like the thing that is so stuck in my craw is he went to rehab to try and rehabilitate himself, because he is a gambling addict. He is a gambling addict. Like, he gets the shakes. Like, he went to rehab and then he immediately is trying to get himself reinstated? That's not comeuppance. That's not, to me at least, that's not you learning your lesson. That's you trying to make it go away and go back to things being okie dokie Dr. Jones, which, forget that. Why is he on the ground? Why are you on the ground? Get up. Okay, you're up.
So Matt,
Sorry.
no worries. I totally agree with you on this stuff. Can I play a devil's advocate for 1 second?
Of
And
course
it's
you
not,
can,
and it's
otherwise the
not,
show would be boring.
and it's not for Texas Tech, right? We have seen in the NFL that players who have gambled have been hit with punishments, right? Calvin Ridley comes to mind, but there's a couple of players on the Lions over the last few years who have done that, and they have lost the ability to play games for a season, right? If I am Sorsby, and what I say is true, that I did do rehabilitation, even if this moment it was for show, right? If I want to be in the NFL, don't you think I would have to start potentially thinking about this particular part of the future and hope that, like, at Texas Tech, I keep my nose to the grindstone and just play out of my mind so that I am a top three, a first round pick or a top. Do this, because if I do this, that's a season I'm losing.
Boo! Boo!
That's a weird answer to my question.
No, sorry, I just hated that. I just hated that call. Something that was a flagrant on Castle. They didn't call flagrant, but whatever.
I don't agree. I like the call. That wasn't a flagrant.
Of course you agree. You're still upset
It's
that
a
we
bit
sent
of a
the beard
flop.
home. Oh, you're upset that your beard got shaved. But so my response to that though, Kyle, and this is serious. I feel like if anything, that just backs up my point. Because if you are seriously dealing with something like this, where it's that debilitating, that's all you're focused on. If you're trying to get clean, you're trying to get clean. You're not trying to get clean and start a Fortune 500.
I mean, yes, I agree, but also, like, I guess.
I'm also not. I'm sorry. I also don't want this to come off as me attacking you. I know this is not your.
No. And I get, like, yes. In order for, like, to show comeuppance, you need to get yourself clean. But I also would say that I would say at this moment, and this is not necessarily being naive. This is just more of like, here are the facts at this moment because we don't know, right? There isn't anything to say that while he's at Texas Tech, he isn't still trying to atone for this, right? It's not necessarily like, yes, he was the one who wanted to be at Texas Tech, but it's not his fault that he got this. It's a crooked juror who's part of Lubbock who wanted this. So the juror could have said no. The judge could have said no, and we would have been at the end of this conversation. But because he wanted to have his team be more recognized and get money for himself, this is where we're at. So it's up for him to show that he can stay clean on this. And if that's the case, then at least he is pushing himself forward to something better.
You're right. You're not wrong there. I guess I'm just, and like, I know it's part of society. I'm not trying to say let's live in planet other there. But I think especially for quarterbacks across the country, you just sent an extremely dangerous message. And I think he sets an extremely dangerous precedent. I think every kid that plays quarterback saw that. And I think now they maybe think differently. I really do, man.
Well, you know what we have to do right now?
What?
We have to Lubbock or leave it.
Lubbock or leave it. I love it. Speaking of loving it or leaving it, how do we think that they're actually going to do this year? Because here's my hot take. If let's say that God's not real and Sorsby does get to play this year. I think he missed the 2 games. I think they win those 2 games. One of those games is maybe close, but I think they beat the crap out of Abilene Christian. I think he has an underwhelming season. I think he's literally going to go one of 2 directions. I think he's either going to have an underwhelming season because he's not able to take the smoke. Because that's the other thing, man. When these athletes get into this hot water, man, they're not able to take the smoke. I think he's either going to be mediocre because he can't take the smoke, or he is going to ball the F out and he's going to be a Heisman candidate. I do not think there's going to be any between.
I do agree with that, and I'm just looking this up real quick just to see, like, on the worst case scenario if he doesn't play, because I think Moten wasn't the starting quarterback last year. If I remember correctly, I feel like Will Hammond played a little bit.
Yeah,
so
they had 2 quarterbacks last year. It wasn't just one guy.
Right. So even if Sorsby is out, it's not like they don't have someone that they can rely on to steer this ship. I don't see any reason why Texas Tech can't make it back to the playoffs, especially with the defense that they have. And I don't think last year was a fluke. They have the resources. Aguirre is not a bad coach. He's been someone who has been hovering around 500, low over 500 with his tenure there, and now that the NIL has like merged with his coaching, they're going to be a much better team. So I would say either they're going to make the playoffs or they're going to be like right on the outskirts of it.
Jalen Brunson. Sorry. He just sank a 3 over Wemby. Sorry. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm I am in shambles. I am in shambles right now, guys. I'm not doing well. Anyway, Ryan, how do you think the Red Raiders are going to do this year? And I'm going to focus really hard in your answer because I can't look at the damn screen.
I personally think if Sorsby gets a chance to play this year, I think he's going to have a really great year. He's got a chance to come out in this draft class and showcase himself as a top 3 quarterback. You're making it hard not to be able to concentrate that 1 year.
I know. I'm sorry.
Let me take that thought. I think the Red Raiders will do really well. I think Sorsby will cement himself as a top 3 quarterback in his draft class just because of his measurables. I think there'll be a very rigorous process in terms of his pre-draft interviews if he does get the playing balls out, because you need to make sure this kid has learned this lesson and can be the head of your franchise, the face of your franchise. But he's got all the talent. There's a reason why he was a dark horse fringe candidate for Heisman going into the year. And I don't see anything really changing if he gets a chance to play, because he realizes this will be his one and only second chance to change his life and send into the direction where it should be, where he wants to be a multimillionaire and prove that he's a valuable piece to any franchise. Like, he's not going to let that opportunity slip away from him. So I think that in the long run, if he gets it, I think they're going to have a really good season.
Jay, how do you think Mr. Sorsby is going to do this year?
I texted you. I said I'm betting unders. If he bet on himself, I gotta bet on him too. I don't know. I don't know the state of his FanDuel account, but he's 22. I want to say. I feel like there are 2 types of people, like you said it right. Like, you either ball out or you crumble, and I just think that teams are going to make it very uncomfortable for him. He's going to know the discourse around his name. He's going to see it. He's already been seeing it. The headlines are headlines for a reason, and your name is in them and not for the good one. So I think that I'm going to say that I think he has a lackluster season. Maybe Texas Tech has a solid season, but I don't think he'll have the season he wants to. But also what you said about the draft, like, he knows what's at stake. Already teams are looking at you for a character question. What's your availability going to look like if you are already having conversations in college? What's that going to look like at the pro level? But on top of that, what do you look as a professional football player? Like, this is not just, I'm going to go collect a check and go home at the end of the year, like a lot of other guys in this position. It's, hey, I want to go and play football and get paid for it for the rest of my life. If that's what you want it to be, it really has to, like, clean cut. I'm not gambling anymore. Get the addiction out of there. Figure that out. Go back to rehab if you need to. Call the number. There's a reason they have it. And
people say it.
Yes. 1-800-GAMBLER. Like, if you are sitting there fiending because you need to go and place a bet, there's so many other sports too. There's so many other seasons. You can watch the NFL. I don't know if the NCAA has like a no gambling clause. I know that I'm sorry, NCAA. If they have a no gambling clause, because I know some sports did where there was like you can't gamble at all. But like, I don't know, start playing poker or something. Like there's other ways to not jeopardize your future, even though gambling's not really good for you. There's other ways to go around that. And if you really do want to make an actual effort to get generational wealth from the NFL, it starts now. Since Lubbock County already said you're good to go, you now have to be the change.
Now, this is the last thing I will say, and then I'll move on. I will say though, this is the one of the few rules he had to follow. He could have just waited. You know, his playing career isn't exactly going to last 30 years. You know, here's an example I have. It's not apples to apples, but it's an example I have. My uncle worked for the NYPD. Before he worked for the NYPD, he liked the Sticky Icky. Even while he worked for the NYPD, he did not hate the Sticky Icky, but he was not allowed to use the Sticky Icky because you get tested for it, and you cannot test positive for it. He knew that he had to wait, and the second he retired, you know where he went? The Dispos. It's funny, he actually is underwhelmed by the weed, which is funny considering he was off of it for like 30 years. But still, like, there's kind of a cynical part of me that's like, dude, it's one rule. Fucking wait. But anywho, Ryan, I'm glad you came back, and I thought you had a dog, but I'm sure they're somewhere. But Ryan, I want to switch topics, and I want to switch topics to something specifically you can learn the people on. Because, Ryan, I am so confused by this damn Stanley Cup. The games start – I'm not going to front, dude. Some of these games start out really, like, man, like the last game. I saw that score, and I was like, bedtime. And I woke up, and that changed. Now, I do think – I hate what I'm about to say. It stinks that they're smaller markets, but, like, this is objectively a very good Stanley Cup. And I want to first apologize to the NHL. I apologize, NHL. You've been doing good for 3 games. Thank you. And I'm sorry, and I love you. 2, Ryan, why – like, so it feels like, at least from what I can see – I think except for one game that was back and forth, the games have pretty much been one team gets the upper hand, then the other team comes back and wins. Why is that happening so much seemingly in this series? And is defense a problem for both of these teams?
I wouldn't say it's defense is the issue. I would probably say it's goaltending, to be honest. Freddie Anderson is not what I would consider a number one goaltender in this league. He's probably better suited as a backup right now. When you have Brandon Busty as your backup, you're kind of starting 2 guys who really wouldn't get the majority of starts on a team. And then, you know, Carter Hart does have some inconsistencies. He's a bit of a smaller goaltender. But man, this series has been so much fun. I'm still trying to figure it out, to be honest. It's one of the craziest series I've ever seen. It's been setting records. I mean, Marner just set the fastest hat trick record in Stanley Cup history.
Yeah, he did it in like a minute or something like that.
Yeah, he scored 3 goals in like 6 minutes and 20 seconds. It was insane.
Yeah.
It's been spectacular. It's everything that the NHL could have asked for. Toronto fans are in shambles, which is even better. It makes everything just so much better. It's like seeing Dallas fans in shambles. It's so great. I think what's happening is that I think Vegas's talent is kind of showcasing itself early in games, but what Carolina does, they wear you down eventually with puck possession and just shots on goal, and they just kind of stifle you as the game goes along. So yeah, they get better and better chances as the game goes, and when you're seeing a volume of shots and you're getting consistently having, you know, them in your D zone, circling the puck, containing possession, and executing shots, like eventually a couple of those are going to break through. And Carolina's talented enough where they can come at you in waves. Like they scored 3 goals in 39 seconds or something like that in game 3.
That was
something
crazy.
Wild. You just see how relentless and how, and no matter how things are going, they stick to their systems, they stick to their game plan. They don't get out of what they do well, and they find ways to kind of get back into these games. And I won't be surprised if we're going back to Carolina 2-2, to be honest. I mean, these two teams are super evenly matched, and there's no one who has the edge in goaltending. So when that happens, like, it's star players. And for the first time all kind of postseasons, Carolina Stars have shown up. Seth Jarvis, Aho, Svechnikov, they've all started to kind of show up and deliver for Carolina, who've had their second and third lines kind of been carrying this whole postseason. So two contrasting styles that are showcasing why hockey is the best playoff sport, hands down.
So I knew that Marner was essentially rewriting his playoff legacy with this postseason, but I didn't realize, I didn't actually sit down and look at the stats. He's got 10 goals this postseason and 18 assists for 28 points through 19 games. That's good for a plus 16, which that is the best on the Golden Knights. Now, Mitch Marner, he's a really fascinating one because he was the big name in the free agent class last year for the NHL. He was the big name that was signed by Vegas. Toronto, they had their feelings, but it is what it is. The jokes have been made that LOL, it's a Toronto problem, but I do find, and I'm not going to pretend like I've been following this wall to wall like you or other hockey fans are, but I do find it fascinating because I feel like this is a great little narrative for this not little narrative, but this is a great narrative though for this playoff though, that Marner is completely rebuilding his playoff legacy. Even if they lose in 7 games, you can't say it's because of Mitch Marner. You just said it, he had the fastest hat trick. He scored 3 goals in 6 minutes. Sometimes goals don't get scored over 60 minutes. It's very fascinating to me how much a difference a year and change of scenery makes, because it's a new team. It's not the team that drafted him. It's new city, a completely different environment. And on top of that, you went through 2 head coaches.
Yeah.
Is he the Conn Smythe right now? Sorry.
Yeah, he beat 100%. Yeah, he's the Conn Smythe right now. The stat is, I think he has 10 goals in 19 postseason games right now. In, I think, 73 postseason games in Toronto, he had 16 goals. It's his narrative is completely being, it's wild. I honestly will say a lot of this does stem to a culture that has been built in Toronto over the last, 10 plus years. They've gone through a lot of mismanagement in terms of the management style with 3 or 4 different GMs over the last 10 years. That locker room hears the noise, and the fans in Toronto are very loud and very vocal. It's not like Dallas fans where they're kind of just loud, but they don't really calm down their players. Toronto is very similar to Philly in terms of the way it treats its hockey team. They're very invested. They can be kind of toxic to their players. And in that locker room where you have a history of being known as playoff chokers and playoff losers, when one thing goes wrong, you don't have somebody who has been there, done that to kind of pull you out of that spiral. Now Marner goes to Vegas, where they've been to 3 or 4 different conference finals. They've been to 2 cup finals. They won a cup a few years ago. Eichel won a cup. Shea Theodore has won a cup. Mark Stone's won a cup. You go to a locker room where you have a history of guys who've been there, done that, and achieved success at the highest level. That kind of alleviates some of the pressure that you were feeling in Toronto when you were just banging your head against the wall, trying to break through, and you can never do it. Getting a fresh start, getting away from that toxicity of that hockey market. And it kind of speaks to a bigger picture of why a lot of players don't want to play in Canada in general, just based on how rabid the fan bases can be. There is a lot of players who do not want to sign with Canadian teams right now. And you're seeing a lot of it more kind of transition to the U.S. market. And that's also the reason why Dylan Larkin, who requested a trade from the Red Wings, put Vegas as one of his 3 teams that he wanted to be traded to. None of the other 2 teams were Canadian. So it's we're seeing this kind of shift where a lot of players are going away from the Canadian market because of what, in the small, what Marner went through, that kind of encapsulates a lot of what their experiences are like. And you're coming to the U.S. markets where there's a little less pressure, but you have a growing rabid fan base for all these hockey teams.
Yeah, because then also Vegas, like they love the Knights, like they aggressively love them, but they don't like mother f them when they do bad or
Nope.
anything like that. Like I know that they fired the coach with like 8 games left, but like were fans calling for that? Like was there like a fan revolt or anything like that?
From me, I didn't hear anything about them wanting to fire their coach. I just think they were looking for a different voice in the locker room. There's a lot of talent on that team, as you're seeing, and they were just underachieving. Partially due to injury, partially due to probably the system that didn't fit the players that they had. And you've seen Tort come in, and his system has fit Vegas to a T. He's demanded accountability. He has a set system that is also it's very Carolina-esque, where it's stifling in the defensive zone, where they kind of like block a lot of shots and are able to capitalize on their odd man rushes. Like, he's been the perfect fit for that Vegas team. And if I'm Vegas, yeah, we know the history of Tort after year one, but if they win the cup, I don't see a reason why you don't give him an extension, at least a 2-year deal, to see if you can kind of capture the same lightning in a bottle that you have this year, because it seems like all these players like playing for him and they fit his style, and his style fits them.
Dylan Larkin requesting a trade. That's
Yep, came out a couple days ago that he has 3 teams on it. He has a full no movement clause. So his 3 teams, he told Detroit that I want to be traded to are Vegas, Minnesota, Florida.
Oh no.
Yep.
He said the last one. Oh no.
I think, dude, I personally, I think the better fits Minnesota. Minnesota Minnesota needs a 2C in the worst possible way. They need some depth on that center line. And if you put Larkin on the second line and you got Kaprizov on the first line with Boldy, like, oh man,
that's funny.
And he knows Bill Guerin from Team USA. He knows Quinn Hughes from the Olympics. He knows Matt Boldy from the Olympics. Like, it's a perfect fit.
Oh, they probably became homies then. I'm just more concerned. Like, man, like Bill Zito, man, though, like like Bill Zito's able to make moves happen without it like screwing the future of the franchise. So,
and he's got pieces to part with that would intrigue Detroit.
Yep.
Now the question is, does Yzerman actually trade him? Because you're not giving Yzerman a lot to work with for those 3 teams. Because any of those 3 teams who are contending right now are not going to give up the farm to get Larkin, because they know that Yzerman has no leverage in that situation.
They'll probably trade him.
Does Yzerman be like, hey, well, he can veto any move. He has a full no movement clause. He can veto any trade that he doesn't sign off on. So do we have like a waiting game where like, does he sit out partially into next season to kind of force Yzerman's hands, or Yzerman like, all right, we'll just huffy scratch you until, because his full movement clause is for 2 more years. After that, it becomes a modified no movement clause to where there's like 10 teams that he can veto.
Has anyone in the NHL done that where they're just like, screw you, I'm not playing?
Kovalchuk went back to Russia when he wanted to be traded from Atlanta when the Panthers were still a team.
Is that how he got sent to New Jersey? He went to Russia?
Correct. Yeah.
That is hilarious. Yep. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It worked.
It did. I don't think I've actually seen a player really sit out in a long run, just because a lot of times these moves do get done. But I think Larkin's kind of a special case where you were kind of hamstringing the franchise, and you are the face, and you were a Detroit kid and you went to Michigan. Like, he is the hometown kid. So it's kind of like, you should, I wanted to take a peek at the Detroit Red Wings kind of Reddit page and see how they were feeling. And it was just, everyone was in shambles.
Oh,
they were
really?
MFing him. Everyone was MFing him. Like, cool, dude. Yeah, nah. We're just gonna healthy scratch you until you decide to suit up for us. Like, they were not. No one was having any of it. It was hilarious.
Man, that's crazy. Fans are funny. Well, I mean, they'll probably trade him. Oh, that's a fun picture. They'll probably trade him then, if that's the case, though, to the West, because the Panthers are in the same division as them, and they absolutely don't want the smoke from Florida, because Florida is a better setup. Then yeah, probably. Well, does Vegas does Vegas have any pieces?
They do. Okay. I don't know if they're willing to part with them. The centerpiece going back will be Dorofeyev, but I don't know if Vegas is willing to part with him to get Larkin back in return. Because Dorofeyev is a really young piece who is in need of a contract. who would be very valuable in any sort of return for Larkin. And Stone's coming off their books this year, so they have enough room to absorb Larkin's cap it, going into the offseason if they were to make that trade. But I just don't see Vegas, because they'd have to part with, NHL players. Their prospect pool is kind of lackluster because they're very much like the Rams, where they say F them picks and just go get whoever they want if they think it's going to make them better. So it would have to be one of the roster players. It would have to be like Howden and Dorofeyev and something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, I know that you said that you think that this is going back to Carolina, but I kind of want to put you on the spot now because this has been going back and forth. And Kyle, I would actually like you to chime in too, because I know that you've been texting a little bit about these games as well, unless you're frozen, in which case this is awkward for me.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. But Ryan, how do you is the rest of the series going to be like this, or is one team going to pull away? And after you answer that, I'd like to know who you think is going to win.
Oh, I don't see like a 6-1 game happening. I could see a 4-2 game happening. I just think these two teams are so even and they play styles that kind of combat each other, where you're going to get opportunities to come back in these games just because of how mediocre both goaltenders are. I don't think one team's going to run away with this. Like I said, I do think it's going back to Carolina 2-2. Now, for who I think is going to win the series, if I had to pick somebody, I think it'd be Vegas, and I think they'd do it in 7. I think they'd win on the road.
Yeah, they're seeming just like evil, mean Titans that can't get anything wrong.
But I just think Carolina does have at least 2 more big pushes on them. I think this is going to go 7. I just think they're too evenly matched, and I think Carolina's too deep to just lay down and die. I think it's going back 2-2, and I think we're getting a 7-gamer, and I think it's going to be fantastic for the league.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for the league. I'm excited to see what happens to Mitch Marner, because I think this potentially, I'm not saying he's going to be like Anthony Edwards or like Karl Anthony Towns in terms of like who we know, but I think that this is going to potentially Mitch, not just a fun redemption arc for Mitch Marner. God damn it! But also it will be. Sorry, that was just a good 3. I wonder if this potentially sets up, granted, I know saying this about the NHL is crazy, but I wonder if this potentially sets up Vegas for a run, because Marner's playing out of his mind. Whoa, what the heck? Sorry, outside my house is completely yellow right now.
Whoa, that's neat. I mean, in all fairness, isn't Vegas kind of been on this run for the last 9 years? This isn't anything that they haven't done. 3 Cup finals in 9 years, I would kind of say, is already a run.
Yeah, I guess more like a more consistent,
like a Florida run. Are you talking about?
Yeah, something similar-ish to that, something like that, or like Tampa, or something like what the Blackhawks did before we found out that they were the Catholic Church.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it could. Vegas is the type of team that a good player comes available, they're going to do whatever it takes to get him. They've proven to do that. They move picks. I mean, the Canadians don't have Nick Suzuki if Vegas doesn't aggressively pursue Max Pacioretty at a trade deadline acquisition. Vegas makes big moves, and sometimes it bites them, but a lot of times they get it right. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in a Cup final again in a year or 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting texted by my friends right now. It's annoying. Because
you wanted to weigh in, right?
Well, yeah. Before we get to the next one, I don't have a lot more to say than what Ryan's already said. But if to play, because I feel like this series has been so even, I would go the other way and say Carolina's going to win this in 7. And the only thing that is making me think this is because of the run that they've had throughout this entire tournament. We were arguing this last week, I think, where you were saying, Matt, if Brendan Moore finally got the monkey off his back or not, or like, is it legit because the Florida Panthers aren't in there? Look, you play the people that are in front of you, right? And even if Carolina does lose this in 6 or 7, that doesn't mean that, it's Brendan Moore can't do it, right? Like, look how incredible these games have been. Like, we thought last year was one of the best Stanley Cup finals that we have seen, and this is blowing it out of the water so far. If we get another 2 games where like they have a comeback like this, like, we're gonna say that this is like a top 10, top 8 finals of all time.
Absolutely.
Like in that scenario, it's not some other team won it or lost it. It's literally just the luck of the puck at that point in time, right? Like, who was expecting the Carolina to score 3 goals in 39 seconds and still be down 4-3, right? That stuff's insane. There's still part of me that, like, yes, I understand that Vegas is doing this and it is very impressive. But like, when you're saying, like, the idea of it, like, if they win, is this going to be like a chance of a run? I think we're also underselling, like, the Avalanche. Like, if and I don't think it's a shocking thing to say, but if either of those injuries didn't happen, not saying the Avalanche would have swept the Knights, but I'm pretty sure it would have went the other way, and we would have a very much different conversation. So, like, yes, there's a chance that the Knights can win this, but I don't think that necessarily means that they're going to be what the Avalanche were this year.
It is wild that I went from saying the Avalanche are the dominant team in the world to like, I think this might go on a run. It's funny how the world turns like that. Jay, do you have any thoughts about the Stanley Cup final?
I hope everyone's having a good time, and I want the Golden Knights to win.
Hey,
That's
he said
it.
the right. Hey,
There
man, he
you
said
go. Well,
Jay,
I do.
all I heard is Jay doesn't want the cheap owner to win, which we support.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I did know, because I was doing sports reports at the time. I do know, like, the Golden Knights are like the most recent team added, and I just like fun stuff like that, like the expansion team just going and being dominant. Why not? Let's have fun. And also, like, the Hurricanes beat the Flyers, so I'm sorry. So,
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's
There's
the
I love
reason.
that. That's a good hate. That's a good hate watch. What a weird sport. All right, gentlemen, I've been trying to avoid talking about this for so long, hence why I've been moving on from it. I mean, hence why I've started with college football and then moved on to hockey. But the New York Knickerbockers are in the NBA Finals, and they're up 2-0 in the series. And gentlemen, I can confidently say I still do not know what to do with my hands. Like, oh man, like, I still don't feel good. I don't feel confident. And it's not even like I think the Knicks are going to poop. It's just like, no, like, this is the NBA Finals. You can't go into this being like, yeah, I'm going to dominate. I'm a baller. It's like, nah, dude, it's a big moment. And so I'm just sitting here trying not to poop my pants every game. And like my mom was here over the weekend. My mom was visiting me. She's the first person to come visit me out in Colorado. And on Saturday, we were okay. Colorado, you got to get it together, because I was at the bar in my town. Tell me why they had 5 TV screens only playing College World Series.
Could you make a request to change it?
Yeah, did you ask them?
Dude, I'm new in town, and I was talking.
Was it 5 different games?
No, it was the Mississippi-Auburn game and then the Oregon-Texas game. That's
on you for not asking.
I was with my mom.
Speak up.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
Mom, tell them to put the game on.
Mm-hmm.
My
Fake
problem
New
though
York
is that,
fan.
my mom is visiting me for the first time since I moved to Colorado. I miss my mom. It has been a very big and emotional move.
Listen, if
You couldn't ask the bar to put one game on TV?
Well,
I don't want to piss off the town, dude. They already don't like that I'm from New York.
So here's the thing: Matt didn't want to do that because his mom would have been upset that he's not spending any time with her because he would have been locked into the Knicks instead of actually having quality time with family.
That is how you develop all of the basketball for your mom.
Yes.
I will say so funny thing that you say that. My mom's actually the one that showed me sports. So my mom actually I eventually mentioned, I was like, Mom, there is like 3 minutes left in the Knicks game. And she was like, yeah, pull it out on your phone. She was like, why didn't you do that earlier?
So she was waiting for you to ask then. I
didn't want to be a bad son. Moving out west by yourself when you literally have no one around you is a lot to handle, and I miss my mom.
Listen.
How do you not know that maybe she, like, in the back of her mind was like, why isn't my son putting this game on for us?
Because all she knows about my Knicks fandom is he's always upset during basketball season.
Yeah. In football season.
No, when I was younger, I wasn't unhappy. When I was, which that sucks. When I was a kid, that was the golden years of the Jets. That sucks. As Jalen Brunson does the thing and he goes to the foul line, please don't miss it. Okay, he didn't. Hooray! But the Knicks are up. They're up 2-0. I'm trying to get my Colorado town to bandwagon around the Knicks because this is a fun team with fun vibes. Despite
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know it's not going to happen. I'm more just trying to
quell. Matt, there's one way.
I'm trying to more quell the New York hate because I'm just like.
There's one way.
Because I'm just like, it is 8 million people having a ball. They might burn down their own city in joy. That's awesome to me. If Philly did that, I wouldn't have been like, that's weird. I would have been like, fuck yeah, let's go build a new Philly Museum of Science.
No, but here's the thing, Matt.
There's one way you can get them on there.
Hold on, I want to hear Jay, and then I do want to hear you. Jay, go.
Sorry, go for it.
You're good. I was gonna say the thing is if the Knicks win, I'm gonna hear F and B chants, and that's gonna make me depressed for no reason. That being said, you know I'm right.
I know because like you're just saying like truths. Like
exactly, and that's
like yeah, fucking Embiid, yeah.
See, and then when it was Trae Young 5 years ago, same thing. So
dude,
and they still hate Trae Young.
Dude, he's gonna have to like leave the country. Oh God, I hate Castle so damn much.
Knicks fans are gonna be insufferable.
Yes.
I'm so excited for it, man. Yeah, dude, we won. You get to talk shit for a year, man. That's what happens.
When you guys think Boston fans are bad.
Dude, when you guys lift the Lombardi, I ain't gonna say shit. I'm gonna let you jump through your tables. I'm gonna let you set shit on fire. I'm gonna let you baptize your babies.
We're not bothering anybody. We're just up with their tables.
That's bothering the table industry.
No, it's making them a lot of money because you got to buy.
Matt, can I finally make the joke?
Yeah, you can finally make the joke. Yeah.
All right. Judging by what you've told me about this town, there's one way you can get them on board with the Knicks.
Oh yeah, I should have told him who's there today.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry. Oh, that was only 2. My bad. I can't count. But yeah, no, this series, it's been fun. I don't like. Look. My mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian's Dior, Knicks in 4. Okay, first things first. That being said, like, I don't know / think this is going to be Knicks in 4, and I don't think that's like the Knicks, like a Knicks thing. I think that's just because, like, guys, it's the finals. Like sweeping in the finals is really hard, especially when you like swept 2 other series. Like, look, go Knicks. I hope they do that. Yeah, miss that shot. But like, I feel like I'm not out of pocket by saying like, look, Knicks in 4, but also like, I'm not going to be shocked if this goes like 5 or 6.
Spurs in 6.
Fuck, get the fuck out of here. They're not going to go. I'm not going to win.
Well, did you see that stat, Matt? So 2006 to 2016, the team that went up 2-0 lost in 6.
So the context missing from that though is those teams were at home. I mean, the teams that were down, 2, they were that happened on the road, I believe.
Yeah.
And one of them was my Cavaliers.
Yeah. Yeah, like what happened to the Spurs, this is the first time this has happened in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
But like again, my response to this though is as that was a good defensive play. Let's go. My response to this though is that what a terrible pass!
Yeah.
Oh, why God, why? Anyway.
Ahead of you.
Yeah, I know you are. You just enjoy my reactions at this point.
But
like Oh damn! I don't even remember what the hell I was gonna say. Go Knicks! Like I hate this.
Six games.
Oh no! Now I remember. Now I remember. My thing with this though is that the Spurs are like just a finals constant, and like I remember when the Spurs came back and beat the Nets, man. Not came back and beat the Nets. I remember when the Nets like swept everyone, whooped everyone, and then got beat up by the Spurs, man. Like I remember that. I remember the Sixers. I remember Allen Iverson hitting the shot and then walking over Ty Lue to tie it up at 1-1 against the Lakers, man. And now I know that 1-1 is a little different.
That was when we peaked.
What?
We peaked. That was our peak.
Dude, Allen Iverson MVP season, Aaron McKee, 6th man of the year. I remember.
No. Dikembe Mutombo.
Oh, dude, Mutombo. No.
Not in my house.
I will say Shaq owned him that series. Like Shaq fucking owned him that series. I mean, clearly it ended in 5. But like I remember that, man. And like when I see the Spurs, like I see resilience. Like the only time I have seen the Spurs lose in the finals was against the Heat. And that was the big 3.
Yeah.
Like outside of that, like they don't tend to, and even that went to 6 games, and that was a tough 6 games, and you needed Ray Allen to hit the shot. So like, I don't know, man. Like this is the Spurs, and like Popovich is still involved, and Popovich is a serial killer, but a basketball coach. So like, I could totally see after this game he dissects the crap out of it, and then he like does some voodoo to them that like fixes it. I don't trust this Spurs team. They're too damn, like, they're named after a thing on a boot. You can't trust that. It stabs horses and makes them go quicker. Fun fact. So around here, there's a bunch of people that still wear Spurs, and not ironically. Like
That's amazing.
Dude, I am constantly asking myself every day, where the hell did I move? Where the hell did I move? Ryan, over the past week, it's going to start out political, but I promise it gets funny. So over the past week, there was a GOP debate for governor because there's a new governor race in Colorado.
Okay.
And this moderator didn't just have one crazy person. He had 2. He had one who did like the very stereotypical, racist white Republican thing where he was like, there are 9,000 million Venezuelans in Colorado. And then when he got called on that, the guy was like, and then the other guy just is a stupendous, I have no other way to put it other than he is a stupendous liar. Like he claims he claims that he's both like a pastor, but also he helps like with like child trafficking and stuff like that. But he cannot name the number of kids they've saved. He also says that he's the only civilian to call a drone strike on a group of ISIS combatants and stuff like that. And when he was questioned on it, like, and by the way, the question was 2-pronged by the moderator was, did this happen? Because it sounds like a lie. And if this was a lie, how can people trust you? He didn't address either of those questions in amazing fashion. And he just started rambling. And at one point, he brought up an army vet dog, like I guess a dog that served in Kuwait. And the dog was, and he was like, come up here, Riley. This dog served 2 tours. Do you think this dog didn't serve 2 tours? At the very end, he just deflects to this dog.
What?
This was in a GOP gubernatorial primary debate in the state that I moved to.
Matt, you're also missing something from the first clip, I think, where the guy was basically like,
I'm not missing it. I'm letting you tell that story because that one's even better. Because Ryan, that same candidate gets even crazier.
How?
So, well, okay. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but Matt, you can help me just in case I mess up. Basically, the first guy who was like saying like there was all these Trinidad people in Colorado. The moderator had reached out to like 56 police stations across Colorado, and 40 got back to him being like, "Nope, none of this is true," and 16 didn't. Didn't say anything at all, and the guy was trying to claim that that basically those 16 were the ones that he got in contact with.
Yeah, so there was that one. Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah. He just like flat out he just like flat out lied about like police action. The reporter called the cops, and the cops were like, "We have no clue who the hell this guy is." No, but so Kyle, it was the second guy though that I was talking about. That same guy, he was the one that had the interview where he was where the interviewer asked him, he goes, you wrote in your memoir that at age 7.
Oh, yes.
At age 7, your dad made you take your first life. Is that the only life you've taken? And he had an extended pause and again didn't answer the question.
No, he said it doesn't really matter my answer.
That's not an answer.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Correct. Very good. Like just crazy people might run my state.
It's time to move, Matt. Time to go remote.
I gotta come home. Oh God, I need to come home to Jersey so bad.
Where's Mom Donnie where you need him?
Oh my God, dude, book me a ticket to Mamdanistan right now. God damn, like, oh my God, like it really is funny. It really is like the meme that you see online with like, I mean, not now because the Knicks are down 3, but like with it's like the memes that are like watching the Knicks have this run with like Mamdani also doing his stuff. It's like watching 8 million people have a pizza party, but you can't participate because your parents didn't want to pay. And it's just like, yeah, man, that's how I feel. I'm just kind of like out. I'm just kind of out here, and I have several friends at watch parties. 2 of my friends from Ryder were in the city when they clinched, and they were like right in the heart of 7th Ave. My friend Mel is right now at the watch party in Bryant Park. Yeah, man, like I'm on the wrong coast, but like I'm also like under like the understanding that like, man, like if they complete this mission, I might have to move out here permanently. Like I might have to live out here if they go on a run.
No, you don't want that.
No, I don't. No, correct. I don't want that. I want the run. I don't want to live here. It's a conundrum. It's what we like to call a conundrum. But Ryan, as you know, with the Bills, we all got to do our part. Okay,
that's right.
We all got to do our part. You know, Jay didn't do his part, and the Sixers got bounced. No, I'm just kidding, Jay.
No. I blame Nick Nurse. I blame Daryl Morey. I blame Tyrese Maxey. I blame Joel Embiid. I blame Paul George. Then it's my fault.
I blame Embiid and Max and Morey more than I blame Maxey, man.
Did you watch him turn? Okay. That's a different conversation. Well, that's a different conversation. I have my feelings. I have my feelings. It's just he's not a point guard. That's my only thing. He's not a point guard. We play through him like we play through Embiid now, and I hate that.
That's funny. That's funny. I hate this game. This is not funny.
Well, Matt, real quick from your perspective, right? Because being a third hold it. Starting the playoffs as a third seed, right? And what seemed to have been a top 2 heavy East. This is, I'm assuming, beyond your wildest expectations. But second, like, where's the switch? Like, I don't think a lot of people thought going into the playoffs, or let alone like the second half of the season, that the Knicks were any sort of threat to make it to the finals, let alone potentially complete the mission.
I mean, I thought that. So they, on paper, to me, I think they should have at least made the conference finals, but like I also know that like they added Alvarado and stuff like that, but like I know that they were kind of running it back, and I don't love when you just get there and then you essentially run it back. Like I don't love that as a strategy. So that was like my only hang up. I thought they were going to go to the conference finals. I don't know, man. Like when the playoffs started, and like, you know what it was? It was, and it's funny because he was so wrong about, he was very wrong about the Oklahoma City Thunder. But like, it was, Kyle, I was kind of going off of Amin El, damn it, OGY. I was kind of going off of Amin El Hassan from Le Batard, man. Because like, I was very much like doing my job and working my job, and I wasn't really watching as many sports, to be quite honest, because also I was setting up my life out here. But like all I kept hearing from him was like, yo, you got to keep an eye on the Knicks, man. You got to keep an eye on the Knicks. They might get out of the East. You got to keep an eye on the Knicks. And like Amin knows basketball, man, as a cat blows a jumper. I mean, a bunny. But like, and like that was the only thing that like kept me like, okay, maybe we're not poo-poo. Like, cause like he just kept hammering it home, and he was like saying it like with swaggering confidence. Like he was saying like, nah, dude, you got to watch out for them. You got to watch out for them. So as far as like the other teams not taking them seriously, I think it's because, they're the Knicks, man. And like, yeah, this is the fan base that during the KD and Kyrie free agency period, they thought that they were going to get both of them, but they ended up going to Brooklyn and they were left with Julius Randle. This is a loud and obnoxious fan base. I remember when they thought they were going to get LeBron James, I remember when I thought Melo, Tyson Chandler, and Amari Stoudemire, I thought they were like gonna be the perfect counter to the big three. Wow, not even close. So like I like it's the same, like the same kind of confusion I had towards my fellow fans, like hubris, because like that's something I cannot stand. Kyle, you know this about me. I cannot stand blind hubris, like defending your team. I do not support that ever. I don't, man. And like they were just constantly rolling out crap. And it's just like, what the hell are we doing? Like, what the hell do you have, like, anything to stick your chest out about? Why the hell do you think KD is coming here? You just won 18 games. So I think that's maybe has something to do with it. I also don't know because I don't run an NBA franchise. Good response.
Just taking it all in.
Yeah. It just, I hate, like, oh my God. Also, Jay, I cannot believe that. So for the fun YouTube audience out there, I'll just bring it on here. An assistant minor league baseball coach just decided to criticize my friend's broadcast. He was commentating. Oh, was he commentating like a minor league baseball game? Was he commentating this man's game? No, he was not. He was commentating a high school softball game. I'm sure the guy is like an alum of the softball, is an alum of the high school, which is or maybe he has a family member on the team. But dude, like, you're going after a 23-year-old beginning his play-by-play career, and also like he didn't say anything wrong, and also like, why is a minor league baseball coach going after my homie in Pennsylvania? Like, you're a whole minor league coach. You're a whole minor league baseball coach. And I got snarky with him on the X, on the Twitters, and for some reason, he responded to me. And he wrote me like a soliloquy.
Not me or Jordan, but you.
He responded to me. You know what it was? He didn't like that. I don't think he liked that I added at the Woo Sox and I said that it was a bad look.
I probably did it.
I absolutely. Fuck you! Why are you going after a random regional broadcaster?
Yes.
Don't do that, you weirdo.
And then
fair, but also Matt, like it's like you're holding the grenade. And you're like, what did I do?
I didn't pull the pin.
Time did.
I did not pull the pin.
I
Jordan
thought
With
pulled
that
the pin.
adding at his team, that's kind of pulling the pin, wouldn't you agree?
That is at most gasoline on the fire. That is at most me going, hey, look, a flame. I want it to get higher.
what killed me is that he not only tagged Jordan 3 times or 4 times, like he's gonna see it once. We tagging him 3 times doesn't do anything. But then the clip he added, I don't know if you listened to it, but it's just Jordan saying, and that'll be another strike. It's like a normal call. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
was
derogatory. It wasn't like, oh, these girls suck. Like he was like we both know Jordan Hirsch. He's never
he's
one
super
time
professional.
undermined it. Like, and to call him a lack of knowledge, this man has came into the station with a prep sheet saying, hey, so I found this on Twitter. I'm going to bring this up in the broadcast. And I'm like, brother, I have names and stats. You have storylines. You're much better than me.
Oh yeah, Jordan like basically set the tone for all of the broadcasters at the Bronx to the point where like now like the good broadcasters, they basically copy and paste like what Jordan does.
And I brought that over to Temple. I'm taking credit for that.
Oh, dude, I do it here.
Yeah, like he's a professional through and through. And for him to get attacked randomly on a broadcast I listened to. I listened to the first half of it, and I thought he was excellent. They had fun, and he wasn't calling anybody out. He wasn't saying the team was bad. He just sat there and said he called a baseball game. And I think he was just hurting his feelings because his team got ran through for 7 innings. Or whatever.
That team got boat raced too.
Yeah, but like Steiner's been Steiner like all year. Like I don't know why there was confusion or anything, but he felt bad. Oh, look, with this team, these girls are tough, bro. If you play sports, clearly this man played sports. They're tough. They should be able to sit there and take criticism as well as actual colorful commentary as well. The same way every other athlete does it. This is on YouTube. It's not ESPN Plus. Everybody relax. I don't know why he was upset, but people get emotional, and I think that's what happened to him.
Yeah, I just more find it you know what it felt like an angry parent in the stands. Like, shut up.
Yep. Your kid lost.
Like,
score the ball. Score the ball.
Man, like, yeah, seriously. Also, like Steinart, for those who don't follow Central Jersey softball, Steinart is a very talented local high school. They have made 5 sectional championships, including this most recent one, this upcoming one, via beating Ocean City High School. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
That was
yeah, that was big. Sorry. Sorry.
I want to root for your team. I mean, I want to hate your team so bad, Matt, but I can't because they play well. Dude,
my mayor's Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian's Dior, Nixon 4. I love the vibes. Man. But I'm gonna bring him down. No!
See?
I got broken.
Yeah, there we go.
It was taken down for me by Dylan Harper. God damn it, Ron. Why can't both of your kids be bad at basketball?
Only one.
Yeah, seriously.
Only one's bad.
Only one.
Why can't they both be black sheep? Why do they both suck? Like, I mean,
because it's gonna be Spurs and 6.
Well, Matt, that's just Bryce and Bronny. They're bad. They skipped a generation. The genes.
You mean they skipped a kid?
I think they skipped both of them. I think like either his daughter's going to be the best, or Bryce and Bronny better start getting cracking.
Oh, you're talking about LeBron. Oh,
I
thought you were still talking about about Harper.
No, that's my bad. Yeah, I think that it's time for them to start looking at you know.
Yeah, they need to get her in the
kids because.
Now, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If the Spurs win this game, is Game 4 a must-win?
Yes.
For the Spurs or for the Knicks?
1,000%.
For the Knicks.
I don't care about the Spurs.
Yes.
What if we do? Yeah. No. Yeah. 1,000%. I mean, I'm genuinely not saying this to sound like an asshole, but like I think every game is a must-win. I thought Game 1 was a must-win. I thought Game 2 was a must-win.
You're an asshole.
Let me rephrase that. I wanted to win Game 2. After they won Game 1, I was like, all right, they completed the mission. They had to win one of 2 in San Antonio, and then they swept him in San Antonio. I loved it. unless we go back and they lose, in which case I'm gonna just
I have a
hear it from.
Matt, I
all
have
of
a
you
fun
guys.
question.
No, it's fun for you.
Matt, I
It's
got-
not going to be fun for me though. But go.
If they lose this game, does New York blame more Mondani or Trump?
Oh, Kyle, you know the answer to that question. It is
Mondani.
100% on the president. 1,000%. No, it's totally Mamdani's fault for bringing Hassan Piker. Mamdani paid $1,000 so that him and Hassan Piker could go on Twitch and watch the Knicks brick a bunch of threes.
Wait, he's done with Hassan Piker?
Yeah,
Yep.
Piker's there. Yeah.
Good Lord. Nobody.
I hate that, but I love that.
Dude,
That's nobody.
It's
I know,
not
I
more
love that
Hard
he's there.
Face fault. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it so much. Go for it, man.
Did
But
he
no,
bring
like
his shot caller with him?
what?
Did he bring his
Oh,
shot
God.
caller with him?
He did not
Jesus.
shock his dog. He didn't. You can keep making the face. He didn't. You can keep making the face. He didn't.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. The city is going to blame Trump because also like everything because like it's not like what people don't understand. It's not just like, oh wow, that is a terrible game from Brunson. It's not just like,
That's
oh,
what's been shooting in the playoffs.
yeah, I know. Except I saw it. It's not just that he it's not just that he's there. Like, and anyone who thinks it's as simple as that, forget you. What has been the story about the Knicks other than the Knicks themselves? It's been the fans. It's been the pandemonium. Where's the pandemonium been? In front of Madison Square Garden. What's the first thing that got announced yesterday? They shut down all of the watch parties outside of MSG.
Yeah.
MSG is already the most expensive arena. Like, it is disgusting. Ever since they remodeled it, it has been completely bastardized by corporations that bought everything in the lower bowl.
Weren't tickets going more than the Super Bowl tickets are?
That I do not know the answer to, although I wouldn't have been shocked. But like my overall
That's
point
disgusting.
is that my overall point though is that it's hard to get into MSG for the normies. A lot of New York normie fans, like, they live in the Heights, they live in Harlem, they live in Brooklyn. Yes, even though they have the Nets, they live in Queens. Like, they don't all live between 34th. Between like 34th and 110th and between 8th and Madison. They don't. And like these watch parties were a way for the fans to feel kind of like connected. Like, oh, we're not in there, but we're still there. And now there are still watch parties all over New York and all that jazz. I have two friends that are at them. Dude, what is going on? I hate these damn refs. Anyway, but you're taking that away. And you're, quite frankly, and I know this is like some that'll like get eyes rolled and stuff like that. That's ruining the vibes, man. And like, quite frankly, part of this is run on vibes. Like part of the joke, fuck you, Wemby. Part of the joke of this team is the power of friendship and stuff like that. And like, yeah, man, like that's part of the reason why this city loves this team so much. They're super likable. They seem really cool, despite the fact that they just made a brick right there.
You call them the Knicks Kingdom Hearts?
I have no clue what the like. I know Kingdom Hearts, but I don't understand how I'm calling them Kingdom Hearts.
You said the power of friendship. That's pretty much the power in the game. Is the power of friendship.
Ryu. I mean, kind of, man. Like, I mean, they could use a Keyblade right now. If I'm being honest, just take out one of Wemby's knees. Just be like, bah! Be like, fuck your ACL. Sorry, I don't mean that. I want to beat him straight up.
You don't want to win like that. You don't.
No, I don't. I'm serious. I will stand 10 toes on that. I don't want to win like that. I don't like it when you win because the other guy tears his ACL.
So like Toronto's fake championship?
So what you're saying is this is an asterisk in the second round, Matthew.
No, it's not.
My Sixers.
Ooh.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
My Sixers will
Dude,
hurt.
nah, that's not abnormal though. That's the norm for you, dude. You rolled out your normal line.
You said the words.
You rolled,
Yeah,
you rolled out your normal lineups, dude. You rolled out your normal lineups.
No.
You're trying to play mental tricks, dude. Little do you know, I watch enough basketball to know that you don't have a consistent ass lineup, my guy. You played your lineups.
Never have. So it stands on it. The last decade didn't count. I won my redo. We should have won in 2019, and you know it. You all know it. We deserve one. It's
Yeah,
a
you
long road.
Yeah, you should have told you should have fucking told Embiid to punch Kawhi.
That's why that Toronto championship's kind of fugazi because KD tore his Achilles in the finals.
So the only reason why I would push back on that is that team that was still prime Warriors. That's the only reason why I kind of push back on that. That was prime Warriors. I know that.
No, because Clay was also hurt.
I thought Clay hurt himself in that series too.
Yeah. Yes.
ACL tear?
Jay Thompson was hurt in that series.
Oh, okay, then yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think Thompson did go down late in that series too. Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Game 6.
Game 6 in the NBA Finals, he tore his ACL.
Uh-huh.
He also helped where he suffered a torn ACL late in. Huh.
Fine.
Right.
It's been 53 years. We'll let y'all have it.
Let y'all
But
have
the North
it.
never
Fuck out here.
forgets. The North never forgets.
You're south of us.
I don't matter. You know what I mean. I'm still hurt. You can't attack me when your team's in the finals,
that reminds me whenever I would go visit Kyle, Kyle would be like, yeah, you should come down. I'm like, Kyle, I'm not coming down.
I was literally thinking of that. Yep.
I forget what it was, but it was like the first time in forever. I was like going to Boston, and Kyle and I were talking about it. He kept coming down. I'm like, I'm not coming down. I'm going up.
Oh my God.
If you come here, you're coming down.
Oh man, that's like that scene. If y'all have ever seen Good Luck Charlie, one of the brother, he's a little.
We're old. We have not.
Okay, great. He says, he's like, oh, I'm going to Mexico. We're gonna go visit my neighbors to the north, and he goes, they're south of us, and he goes, not on the way back. I was like, all right, well,
that's a good.
To him, he has a point.
That's good writing. That's good writing right there. Oh man.
Oh man.
I hate this. Anyway, so the World Cup's on Thursday, and I forgot. Kyle had to remind me. Kyle, you're like the only one I know that's like talking to me about the World Cup. And the stuff I'm seeing about the World Cup, it's honestly kind of really concerning to me. Because it just kind of looks like no one's gonna have a good time. Like players are already being detained at airports. Refs are not being allowed into the country. Like this is already like looking like a huge embarrassment, and this is coming off of the heels of Qatar.
Yeah, it's a really. I'm trying to balance both things because like my girlfriend Vanessa, she is from Colombia. She loves the Colombian national team. So to her, this is like a very important time of the year, and like. There are parts of me that like is kind of excited for this because I remember watching 2022 and enjoying some of the matches. I'm not like the biggest soccer fan, but there is a part of me that does like the spectacle of it. I remember working at Grafton Street in 2018 and having those games on how crazy our restaurant would get. So there is, there's some positives and I would like to highlight those shortly, but you are right. There is a lot of scary things that we can't gloss over that have happened throughout this time, right? Most recently, like you were saying, some of the Iranian players and I believe even their coach has been detained as well and is not able to get into the country at the moment. And the games start this Thursday. I believe a Norway player, a Swedish player, a couple of even I think like a United States player is at this point having a hard time getting back into the country There's just so much craziness that's been going on recently. A bunch of people who got some tickets for free, those were taken away from them. There's been some changes in people's tickets where they thought that they had certain tickets, and then they saw that like FIFA took them away from them and then gave them worse tickets. Dynamic pricing has been happening throughout. There's literally still travel ban for a few of the teams that are actually in the tournament: Haiti, Iran, Ivory Coast, and Senegal. There are, and I think there's a few others: Algeria, Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, Tunisia. Those where it's hard to get into the country without certain requirements because of travel bans. So this is crazy. I think back 4 years ago, Matt, when we were keeping an eye on the 2022, because we were hearing so many things that were happening in terms of human rights violations, and even when Grant Wall passed during that tournament, there was a few people who thought that he was taken out by the government because he was speaking to power what was going on in Qatar. And it's crazy to think that 4 years later, we are in an even crazier kind of situation with this. If people don't remember Copa America a couple of years ago, I believe it was Argentina and Colombia, the finals. There was a lot of stuff happening there where people were trying to get into the tournament without even tickets, and like people were sneaking into the air vents and stuff like that. You have passionate fans who have been basically priced out of these games, who are going to try to find their way of getting in, and then also combine the fact that ICE is doing security there, and also with like attacks on people's ability to actually get green cards here. A couple of weeks ago, they were trying to say that like for people who already were in the process of getting green cards, that you would have to go back to your home country and start the process there. There's just a lot of craziness happening, and not a lot of real good solutions. Not even the fact that New Jersey and New York have also been like putting are basically taking FIFA to court on certain things. Foxborough a few months ago saying like, yeah, we're not paying for any of this shit that you are putting out here. And I think luckily Kraft paid for the expenses, but they were trying to make the town pay for the FIFA games and stuff like that. The fact that in New Jersey, it's $150 to just get on transit, and you can't park anywhere near there. There's just so much that has happened that we don't nearly have enough time or the expertise to talk about. But on the other hand of this, I will say to not forget about like how big of an important event this is for a lot of people. Like there are for those who don't know, we are now went from 32 teams to 48 teams, which means a bunch of countries who have never made it have finally made it for the first time. And I just want to highlight that real quick. There's Jordan making their debut, Uzbekistan, Curacao, and Cape Verde, all making it for the first time to the World Cup. Congo and Haiti returned to the tournament the first time since 1974. Iraq for the first time since 1986. Austria, Norway, and Scotland for the first time since 98. Turkey for the first time since 2002. Czech Republic since 2006. There's a lot of teams that are making it back for the first time in a very long time, and it's a shame that all these teams who really care about this are going to be overshadowed by a lot of what's going to happen during this tournament and a lot of potential dangerous things. I did see a video of like people who were trying to get into the games. They were being there was like lines outside because they didn't have full security staff. There was only 2 people checking tickets for this game for thousands of people. So this is going to be an absolute shit show, I think. But I hope that in those moments we can still at least celebrate the teams that are going to have an incredible time. And I don't know about Matt, but like I would like to at least be able to talk a little bit about this as the time goes on. Of course, highlighting the good stuff that's going to happen during this World Cup, but also not tearing a blind eye to what might happen in the process.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It kind of depends on. For me, it kind of depends on how some of the Latin American nations do. That'll gauge my interest, and I will say, and also United States. I will say, when it comes to Olympics and World Cup, I get super nationalistic. But like this team, like this New York team. Wow, this United States team. Man, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they're like good enough, but like just based on the way that Mike Ryan talks about them on Levitard, like sounds like kind of poopy. Like
They played well against Germany.
That's true. They did.
They showed well, so.
And they also beat oh damn it, who they beat recently? They beat like an African champion. I forget what team though. I forget. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm. I don't know.
So for those who needs like a little refresher on what's going on, actually in the Dan Levitard universe, Mike Ryan and Chris Whittingham have a podcast called Morally Abhorrent, and they went over every group stage and who they think is going to make it out of each group. And there's a little bit of a different thing this year where because it is 12 groups of 4, the top 2 from each group make it through, and then the 8 best third place teams also make it through. So from what they were saying, the United States, they have a favorable draw in their group, but after that, that's where it's going to get very tough because you might have to face Germany in the next round. But the team that they actually said to not sleep on is actually Mexico, because
Really?
they should be able to get out of their group as first place. South Korea is a tough team, but Mexico should be the team that advances, especially because they have home field there. And then from there, they probably should be able to get through their next game. And if that happens, they most likely will face England. And basically what they're saying is like England's not used to that climate. And if Mexico gets to have them in their home field, there's a really good chance that Mexico could take them out. And then from there, Morocco is not a snooze of a team, but if they end up meeting there, there's a good chance that they could also win that because of stylistic differences. So there's a possibility that you could see Mexico in the semifinals.
Dude, that'd be cool, man. That'd be really fun. That would also be very funny considering what our president thinks of them. Who are some of like the favorites going into like the World Cup?
So
like,
this is from the limited.
I know that. Oh wait, also wait, Kyle, quickly, do you remember it was the last World Cup where like Christian Pulisic, he like scored a goal with like his dick or something like that?
Yep.
It was America's
Good
penis. America's penis.
So I'm gonna say like this is only from the limited knowledge that I've been able to gather from recent listening and also like talking to my girlfriend and a couple other people. But from what I'm gathering, the 2 favorites are the ones that usually are France and Spain. Mbappe was really good last time around, and I believe he was very young then, and he's only gotten so much more experience as over the last 4 years. I'm actually trying to find how old he is, but they are probably one of the clear favorites. Spain is, from what I understand, Brazil is not as good as they usually are because they are a little bit young. Morocco is still just as good as they were last time around. I know that like Morocco was a surprise to get to the semifinals last time, they are not necessarily surprised if it happens again. And then, Germany, but Germany has also kind of shit the bed recently when it comes to tournaments. So I would say, yeah, Spain and France are probably the top two, with Argentina, and actually England. Going into the tournament, England is, from what Woody said, this is probably one of the more stacked England teams that they've had. But again, they are a team that hasn't been able to live up to expectations over the last few World Cups. So, yeah, you're probably looking at Europe kind of dominating again. But Colombia is not someone to sleep on. And from what I also understand, Norway, even though this is the first time in a very long time that they have been in the tournament, this is the deepest team that they've had. So those are probably the ones that you want to be looking at. And of course, like Japan, South Korea.
Interesting. And it starts on Thursday? Is that the opening ceremony? Is that the first game?
That, I believe, is the first game. Our first games of the World Cup are the first game is Mexico versus South Africa, and South Korea versus Czechoslovakia.
When's the United States first game?
United States first game. Big fat white face. Just trying to find it. Ew. Well, they're Group D, so I'm going to guess that they are like on Sunday.
One of the games at Gillette.
Oh, no, sorry. They are Friday. Their first game is Friday against Paraguay.
Okay.
The games at Gillette, there's actually some really good ones at Gillette Stadium.
I was trying to figure out because of my commute home from work goes right past the Gillette Stadium, so I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a disaster.
So, group stage wise, they have five games. First one is Saturday, Haiti versus Scotland. Then you have Iraq versus Norway on Tuesday. Scotland versus Morocco on the 19th. England versus Ghana on the 23rd. And Norway versus France on the 26th. Apparently, the Haiti-Scotland game is the sicko game because their particular group is very deep, but also Haiti and Scotland have been playing well in World Cup qualifiers. So basically, one of those two could make some noise, even though Brazil is in that group.
Haiti versus Scotland.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a very sicko game.
Like the experts drew it up.
Mm-hmm.
God, traffic's gonna be abysmal.
Oh man, this is gonna be a time. This is gonna be a time. Well, I'm all out of stuff to talk about unless we haven't touched anything. Is there something that we haven't touched? I feel like we touched pretty much everything.
Do you have anything on College World Series?
No, yeah. Troy advanced. That was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw any of the stuff that happened with Troy baseball. They beat Little Rock pretty handily, but Troy's baseball stadium usually only fits 2,000 people. They had to bring in stands, and it ended up having like over 6,000 people watch. That was cool. West Virginia, they made it to Omaha for the first time. That was cool. It was a fun time. It's a hoot and a holler, but this Knicks game is going on, and I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about, so I'm going to do the thing where I start wrapping it up. Kyle, thank you so much for joining me, as always. Kyle, is there anything you want to promote, and where can people find you online?
You can find me at the Music Fan 77. I want to promote something, and that is, if you've been watching our streams over the last 2 months, has it been 2 months? Probably 2 months.
Yeah.
And especially on YouTube, and you have not subscribed yet, please do so, because that lets us know that you are enjoying what we are doing. We have a lot of other plans for this channel eventually that hopefully will come down the pipeline. But with that, we just need your support so that we know that this is something that's enjoyable. We're going to do it either way, but it would just be nice to know that you guys enjoy what we do. And yeah, that's really all I have to promote this time.
Absolutely. Like, share, and subscribe as always. Ryan, thank you for joining as always. Ryan, where can people find you online? Is there anything you want to promote?
Find me at Instagram at Ryan12490, and nothing I really want to promote. Let's just buckle up for the final hopeful 4 games of the Stanley Cup Finals, because that's been a hoot and a holler to watch. So if you haven't checked it out yet, now's the time to kind of get in on it, because it's only going to get better from here.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that is true. We can attest to that. Jay, thank you very much for joining as always. Jay, where can people find you online?
You can find me at j.johnson_812. Only thing I want to plug is my one and hopefully only documentary will be coming out hopefully in the next 2 weeks, probably on YouTube. I have to edit it still, so the trailer will probably be coming out soon, and then hopefully this piece that has been the bane of my existence will be done. So that's all I'm excited about.
All right. Well, you can find me at Schmatty_B. Make sure you follow the Sports Yammer at the Sports Yammer on YouTube and the Sports Yammer 1 on Instagram. I'll see you next week, and hopefully there won't be a championship game in which I have a stake in, so I'll be able to pay attention better. Anyway, we'll see you later, folks. Remember, my mayor is Muslim, my bagel's Jewish, my Christian's Dior, and Nixon 4. Also, don't forget Dunning-Kruger, Fight Back Against those Dunning-Kruger, Dark Enlightenment is a hoax, and don't just strategize, also empathize. I will see you next week, baby birds. We're going to end the stream. We're going to awkwardly end.